program. That's the Mek Wi Talk Tuesday program right here on Roots Radio. Let me say good morning, Jeffrey.
Good morning. Good morning. You're a very hard man to reach. It seems like
Uh,
it seems like you're becoming the governor for the Bank of Jamaica.
I have to be doing a lot of checking and calculation is going to so
How are you doing this morning, though? Dwight, how are you doing?
physically I am very grateful and thankful that we are still surviving.
Oh yes. Oh yes,
we
indeed.
Yes, and
Wherever you listen.
we want you to know that we have been down with our YouTube for a while, but we have a new YouTube connection. So for the past
Mhm.
few days, we have been up with our YouTube, and we are on also Twitch, and our Facebook is up. So the online live broadcasting is going well. We want to apologize to our listeners for the the low sound they are hearing on the 96.1. We are having some transmitter problems, so we are sorting that out. And so very quickly, we will
Mhm.
get back up and strong. So I just
Thank you.
needed to say that. All right, go
Thank
ahead now, Jeffrey.
thank you very much. That's my good friend Dwight from over by Roots 96.1 FM. Let everyone know that we're live on Roots FM, Roots 96.1 FM this morning. It's a Tuesday morning. Where we're listening and watching from around the world on the Eastern Caribbean. Welcome to the Mek Wi Talk program. We're live on the Mek Wi Talk YouTube channel. We're also live on Twitter. I think we're live on Facebook. Is it Facebook out? Yeah, I think we're live on Facebook. And we're live on two other channels that I don't remember the name of them. Anyway, welcome to the Mek Wi Talk program where we're listening and watching from around the world. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And for those who are trying to subscribe, remember it is Jeffrey Tavares. It is Mek Wi Talk, Jeffrey Tavares LLC. That's what is on YouTube. Any other YouTube channels that have Mek Wi Talk is fake. You have to see the Mek Wi Talk, Jeffrey Tavares LLC. That is my YouTube channel. You can like, share, and subscribe and hit the bell icon to know when I go live. This morning, we're going to speak about school violence and 100 rounds of ammunition seized in Hanover. 100 rounds of ammunition seized in Hanover. It begs to ask the question, is this country getting prepared for a civil war or something? Why you have so much ammunition being seized in this country? Huh? Dwight, your views on that?
Um, Commentator.
You know, we're supposed to be joined by Mr. Luke George Cooke, human rights activist over there in Kingston City, Jamaica. We're waiting for him to join us here on the Mek Wi Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Over the weekend, we had some shebangarang going on with the DPP and the Minister of Justice and the Attorney General of Jamaica. And now they have named an acting DPP. They have named an acting DPP. So let us see what she's going to do. But for those who are just joining us, welcome to the program. We're waiting the arrival of Mr. Luke George Cooke, who's going to come and speak to us this morning about issues facing our country and other topics that we can speak about. Let me say this morning, though. Let me go to something here, because this morning is going to be a morning where we talk about what is in the news, what is affecting us. I see we're in former Minister of National Security and former Member of Parliament for the Jamaica Labour Party coming out swinging this morning against what is going on in the country, against what is going on within his party, I should say. What is going on within his party. And, it begs to ask the question, is the Labour Party in some political turmoil? What is going on within the Labour Party? This is what see the Jamaica Labour Party stewards Stalwart rather, and former cabinet minister Derek Smith says the change coming out of Sunday's Central Executive meeting is not enough as the party need a revamping. My God. That is what he's saying, As the party need a revamping. So if the party need a revamping, that means that means that means the Labour Party itself needs some reshuffling. It needs some major reshuffling. A lot of people thought that Nestor Morgan is out. Let me clarify something here. A national executive meeting of the Jamaica Labour Party is not a meeting of the government of Jamaica. It's a meeting of the party. So when they said that Mr. Morgan resigned, he did not resign as Minister of Information for Jamaica. He resigned as, let's say, information person for the Jamaica Labour Party. He did not resign as Jamaica's Minister of Information. He resigned as a person who give out statement for the Labour Party then. Okay? And I think many of us are getting this thing a bit twisted. We don't understand what they're speaking about. I think we're getting a bit twisted. But this morning, based on all of this, their own former Minister of National Security, a former cabinet minister, former member of parliament, is the same constituency that Nigel Clark took over. Jamaica Labour Party stalwart and former cabinet minister Derek Smith says the change coming out of Sunday's national executive meeting, or central executive meeting, are not founded. In other words, what the man is saying, he's also a former deputy leader for the Labour Party. The Labour Party is in shambles this morning. The Jamaica Labour Party is in a bit of shambles. And one of the shambles the Labour Party is in is because of the whole thing with the former director, the goodly lady, Miss Paula. You know? That is they create and you know, if it wasn't for the good of the grace of God, would have a constitutional crisis in this country yesterday morning, into this morning. Because of Delroy Chuck and the Attorney General. Would have a constitutional crisis in this country. But it didn't happen. Going on in some more of the news, let's go back into news out of Jamaica. We're seeing where, by the way, there's a video circulating on social media. It has so much expletive in it. But I wanted to show, but this morning my producers, they didn't get the chance to download the video properly for me. So I didn't get the chance to get that done. We're waiting on the arrival of Mr. Cooke. George Cooke. Oh Lord, listen to this. I tell you, say, you see these people in this country. A mother of a 16-year-old St. James High School student who was alleged she was expelled for kissing another female student, her friend. The principal of the school expelled the young lady And upon expelling the young lady from the school, the young lady had been out of school since January of this year. And because there's a video, I think there's a video circulating of her kissing her friend. The principal of the school did not take the child or her mother to the school board. What they did, took it on themselves to expel that young lady from the school. This country of ours that we're living in, we're living in some serious problems in this country. Some very serious problems. The young lady, the mother of the child, was speaking out on a famous radio stations in this country. I have been told by the program director of Roots FM that I can't play other radio stations clipping on the radio station, so I won't play it. But what I will do, I'll play it on my YouTube channel and next time around. But I'm just saying this to let you all know that the young lady has not been in school since January because of a peck on her friend's jaw or lips or whatever. Yet, the principal of the Statius Golden High School, I didn't want to talk about it this morning, but I'm going to talk about it. The principal of the Statius Golden High School in St. Catherine still have a teacher teaching there. And these are my views and the views of Roots FM, who sexually assaulted a teacher. He was charged, but yet he's still teaching. And a young lady of another school in St. James just kissed her school friend. And the principal of that school expelled that young lady. Yet the teacher of a well-known high school in St. Catherine, name of a former Prime Minister's father, is still at the school. While the teacher herself has been fired from the school. You never hear something like this yet? The teacher who was sexually assaulted is no longer at the school. A former principal of that school look on the teacher and tell the teacher she's lying, not so. When the teacher was sexually assaulted, took the thing to the police. The teacher, the former principal of the school, who is now retired. Everybody know who I talking and I mince no word this morning. Because we have some petiphiles in the school in the schools in this country. We have some teachers, some very good teachers, but we have some of them who believe that they can go around and sexually assault teachers and students. And nothing is being done about it. You have a Minister of Education. She's the worst Minister of Education this country I've ever seen. This teacher of the Statius Golden High School, who was sexually assaulted, has written, and I want the Ministry of Education to get this. Anybody who's listening to me, who know them, let them listen to this. the Ministry of Education, the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Education, know everything about this, The teacher who was sexually assaulted has WhatsApp the Minister of Education. I gave her the Minister of Education number. Me, Jeffrey Tavares, did it. And she have WhatsApp the minister. She have called the minister. The minister said, I'll call her back. Until now, the minister can't call her back. And the teacher who sexually assaulted her, the male teacher, is at the school right now teaching. And I'm done. Make her shut my mouth this morning. And I'm done until the teacher get justice, Minister Favour Williams. Minister Favour Williams. You are aware of the situation. A letter was written to you. An email was sent to you. An email was CC to the permanent secretary. And until this blessed day, nothing. It happened nearly 2 years now. Nothing. The principal of the school, she left. And a male principal come there. And before he took up the thing in hand and investigate it properly, you know what you do? Tell the teacher she have to leave. She has never been to the school board. No school board call up. Nobody from the school board was called. She wasn't called to a school board meeting pertaining to it. She have not been paid by the Ministry of Education. This is the country we call, but we want to live and work and raise family. This is the country that talk about the dirty 30 bringing down the character of Jamaica. When those who are in authority refuse to help anybody, it's under the same Minister of Education. A well-known pedophile from Washington, D.C. sexual assault some females at a girl's home in Montego Bay where they assault the girls. And he was allowed to leave the country. You hear nothing more about it. Because some of these people have likes. Them licky and nyami in this country. Minister Williams, if you want to know who I'm talking about, ma'am, every soul in Jamaica know my number. It come across the screen all the time. You have my number to Minister Williams. Minister Williams, do something good. You're a woman too. You're a female, Minister Williams. What sort of heart do you have? What sort of heart do you have, Miss Minister Williams? Huh? For what I know, when a person is being charged with something, especially in a school situation, you're being suspended from the school until further investigation. That teacher is still teaching at the school. And you hear nothing about it. You hear nothing. And I get, Lord Jesus, have mercy. I stretch my hand to thee, O God. If thou should withdraw thyself from me, where would I go, Father God? No, sir. Some things going on in the high schools nowadays, you know. There's videos circulating around with young ladies fighting all over the place. Meanwhile, you have teachers sexually assaulting both teacher and student. male teachers sexually assaulting both teachers, female teachers, and female students. That female principal who just retired from the Starship School in high school. That female principal who just retired shouldn't get a red cent. Should never get a red cent. And what hurt most of all is to know that the Minister of Education is aware of the situation. They can't read our WhatsApp. It seems as if the only time I can get something done in this country is when I come on social media. I go to the media about it. Madam Minister of Education. Madam Minister of Education, you're aware of the situation, ma'am. The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, you're aware of the situation. And you must do something about it. The former principal of the Stacious Golden High School didn't want to know anything about it. Was brought to my attention nearly 2 years ago. And I've been talking and talking and nobody pay me any mind. Well, I'm going to do something next. So I'm going to do. How on earth can you have a teacher at a school was dragged before the court? It's all over the newspaper. Nobody not telling it's in the newspaper. He was dragged before the court in Halfway Tree. And he's still teaching at the school. Still teaching at the school. This is the country we call. We want to have a 2030 vision to live and work. When we have a Minister of Education, under her watch, a well-known sexual predator from Washington, D.C. was allowed to adopt a school in a girls' home in Jamaica. Under her watch. And he sexually assaulted the young ladies at that girls' home. Under Favour Williams' watch. The Minister of Education. And you hear nothing more about that case. It's saying what they're trying to cover up the slackness and the dirtiness going on at the Stacious Golden High School. It's the same way. They're trying to cover up the nastiness and the slackness going on at the Stacious Golden High School. Like how the Minister of Education and the government of Jamaica cover up the slackness and the dirtiness that's going on at the girls' home in our country. Madam Minister of Education, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, you better wake up, you know. You better wake up. You better wake up in this country. And for that principal who's at the Stacious Golden High School now, that male principal there, Sir, you don't have a daughter. Sir, you don't have a sister. And that teacher at the Starship Golden High School or Seychelles Golden High School, whatever the name it is, you don't have a conscience. You know you sexually assault that female teacher. And you know about other students that's been sexually assaulted by other male teachers there. You're aware of it. You know about it. You come and talking nonsense in my ears. Huh? Come and talking nonsense in my ears. This is the country that they're talking about the dirty 30s trying to mash up. Hmm? It's what kind of nonsense going on in this country? In the education system in this country under this minister watch. And some of you parents out there, you too licky and nyami too, you know. Some of you parents out there, you sending the young girls into prostitution at a tender age. When these girls go on and start fighting, you blaming government. You can't blame government. Blame on yourself. Blame on yourself, man. This is what is going on in this country of ours. You can have a male teacher of a permanent high school in this country who was dragged before the court in Halfway Tree for sexually assaulting a female teacher, and he's still teaching at the school. Nothing has been done about it. I saw for him connection strong. I saw for him Obia strong. In Guzum strong. Ay, Jesus, have mercy upon this nation of ours. Have mercy upon us, O Lord. It's so for him Guzum strong that he can't leave the school. And I get to understand it's not one time he do this. Under the former principal watch, the same teacher sexually assault a staff of the canteen. And when the staff of the canteen reported to the female principal who was there who now retired, she said nothing go so. And the female staff of the canteen was fired the next day. At the same station school in high school, it happened. You hear nothing. Nothing has been done. And that teacher is still teaching at the school right now. Is that teacher sexually assaulting the female students them there too? Huh? Is that teacher at that school? Is that teacher at the Stacia's Goal in high school sexually assaulting female students there now too? Because if he can sexually assault a female teacher, he was dragged before the Halfway Tree court. And he's still teaching. That means he must be sexually assaulting female students there too. You believe it was anywhere else in the world this could happen, you will be still teaching? No, only in Jamaica. Only in Jamaica. I get to understand that at that same school, I can talk this morning. At that same school, either 3 male students or 2 sexually assault a female student. And the school cover it up. The school cover it up. This is the country. This is what Minister Williams she allowed to happen under her watch. Because you're not of the people of the Vumvavan who pick up a phone and when she said, oh, I said, hello, Minister. Oh, hello, how you doing? I said, Minister, oh, Lord, I will look about it right away, Yes, I look about it right away. Because you come from the upper range of society in Narbrook and Cherry Garden. When you WhatsApp the Minister of Education, you don't see it fit to answer you back. But when they go in the opposition, you see, and they look in your vote, oh God in heaven, all in the middle of the night, you call and answer your phone. They'll walk hills and valleys to get your vote. They will walk hills and valleys to get your vote. And when they get the vote, they don't know you again. They don't know you again. No. Enough of that. We're not going to find something else now. I'm going to go find something else now. There is some video circulating on social media. All over social media from yesterday to today. This is some from yesterday.
Yo, hold on. Give me 10 minutes before you call.
You see what's going on? No, we can't blame government for that, The home's values and morals and attitude is breaking down in this country. There's no way you can't blame Minister of Education for that. You can't blame the ministry for that. What you can blame the ministry for is to allow a teacher who sexually assault a next teacher to be still teaching. To be still teaching. You have to blame the ministry for that. Because the teacher was dragged before the court in halfway tree. It is all over in the newspaper. So nobody can say me make up this. Go and check the newspaper of a teacher who sexually assaulted the next teacher at the Starship School in high school. It's all over in the newspaper. And the Minister of Education herself, a WhatsApp was sent to her. Say, Minister, I have a problem. I want to speak to you. You are going to details and tell the minister what is it. Minister respond to the female teacher all now. And yet the male teacher is allowed to teach same way. Another thing again. Look on this one. You hear the words come out of those students' mouth? You all heard the words come out of those students' mouth in front of the police officer? Not even Pinks and Pablos in a halfway tree have so much cloth. Not even Pinks and Pablos in halfway tree have so much cloth. She chipped some cloth. I do not blame government for this. I can't blame government for this, you know. Blame the homes. The homes in our society. The Bible cannot wrong. The Bible says mothers, children shall be having children. Blame the homes. Another one again that I see, God in heaven help this nation of ours. See one more. See one more here. See one more here, sir.
Where you are coming there from my best friend?
Between yesterday to today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos of students fighting in the heart of halfway train for the school gates. Till it prompted the Jamaicans, this is what it said, Jamaican educators and community leaders in the diaspora has condemned the recent public outbursts among students at least 4 corporate area high schools and are calling on principals of the institution to take firm action to prevent this from happening again. Calling on principals. But only is another one. Because only in the diaspora they go to diaspora conference. And sit down and talk to them about these things. Only they go to diaspora conference, go sit down and yam. And talk about this and talk about that. And talk about the dirty 30. Only now go to conference, go sit down and talk to them about what is going on in the country. So, you come and talk about no calling on principals. What the principal can do? Huh? What can the principals do in this high school with these girls? Testosterone, then yamming salt, and who not fight over man, they fight over something else. No, we have to be plain and straightforward in this country, you know. And that they go on. That's what is going on. Some of these young girls fighting over their boyfriend. Some of these young girls fighting over them bus conductor man and then bus driver man. You think a pencil and take when they fight over pencil? Some of them fight over man. At one point, a friend of mine said to me, so we're raising a generation of vipers. And I said, stop it. But now I realize it. It's real generation of vipers for true. You're so right, Jason. Some of the teachers are running for their life. Because some of these students, you know, you're searching at the gate, but for some unknown reason, the knife still going in. And then has one dagger knife, long fire, gone back down a Negril point. We cannot blame government for this. The homes is to be blamed for the observer violence among students in the schools around the country. When I will blame government for certain things, we can't blame government for this alone. And all they want to do, their friends, is take video and put it up on social media, take TikTok, and get views and get what they want to get from TikTok. And I can attack to tick, 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 tick. Huh? So when members of the Jamaican diaspora, as some of them, they talk about Jamaican diaspora, I forgot, say them they no longer own the diaspora, you know. And them only name the Jamaican diaspora. It is owned by Dr. Rupert Francis. You see? But no, man. I didn't realize it's after 11, nearly 11, past 11:30, and I was still on Roots FM same way. These young ladies, and when they go out, the words that come out of their mouth, not even the stores in Halfway Tree and downtown Kingston that sell fabrics to make clothes. Not so much cloth in them. And some cloth you hear that come out of their mouth. And in Pinks and Pops have so much cloth. Not in Pinks and Pops have so much cloth. But this is the country where the morals and values and attitude has gone to nothing in this country. Has gone to nothing in this country. A nation where the values and attitudes, I'm live on YouTube. Live on YouTube at the moment, talking. Go ahead and watch. You see? The values and attitude in this country gone. Gone to the dogs. Fighting here and fighting there. Fighting all over the place. And you hear nothing. Nothing is going to come of this. Yet the so-called diaspora movement that is going to Jamaica is calling on principals to do more. Do more for what? What can these principals do? When there's no civics being taught in our schools, being taught in our schools. The civics are out. Values. Our values is out. Our morals are out through the door. These young people nowadays has no respect for the schools or for the uniform they wear. I was talking to a former principal of my alma mater who taught me in school. And he said to me, Jeffrey, the days when you guys were coming to school is a total different time now. You think we're going to chip so much Pinks and Pablos in front of the school compound to make our teachers in here? You think we couldn't go up on the road and just chip so much Pinks and Pablos? I know I couldn't do it. Because when I go home and my uncle see me or my adopted father see me or adopted parents see me, Let me tell you something. So, hello. And I go back to school the next day, the same principal who just speak to me yesterday when I said, Mr. Come here. Have a seat right there, soon come deal with you. But nowadays you can't hit them because Andrew Holiness, Jamaica's world-class prime minister, say you mustn't beat them. Because you're XQ with a child. I'm not saying you must take this and hit your child or whatever. But there has to be some punishment for their behavior. There has to be some punishment for their behavior. And what is going on in our schools, in our country, it needs some serious look into. Some serious look into. And those parents at home, someone on a dress, some way to make on a young girl, on a young girls, they say on a dress. With half an out the door. So when you pit come up this way, you start, boy, blame society for what? Blame on yourself. You do it. You cannot blame government for this. Blame on yourself. Blame on yourself. These videos circulating on social media with these young girls, beating them, putting up the foot all in the ear, all part of them showing. Huh? And some words come out of their mouth. Not even pinks and pablos. Not so much cloth in the store. Not so much cloth. My God in heaven, this nation of ours. Huh? This nation of ours. I have with my good friend Luke George Cooke is coming on now. Luke.
Yeah. Jeffrey Tavares.
Yes, sir. You're live on Roots 6.1 FM. Go ahead.
I must go ahead. Yes.
Welcome to the program. We're talking about the values and the attitude that is broken down in our society. Where these videos going on with these young girls fighting and some cloth that come out of their mouth. Not even pinks and pablos in a half a tree and so much cloth.
Oh, you mean you're talking about the street violence that is breaking out over the corporate area and the
Yes.
rural area with our students where they are assaulting teachers. There's a video of a young man who jumped into the class and actually pushed the teacher and off, asked the teacher to box him in a defiant way. But
Yes, sir. I heard about it.
boy, Jeffrey, if there's any truth to it, it's almost like the devil has been let loose if we're looking for the quick escape. But what is the harsh reality that I think stiffer punishment should be looked at for the parents, because children only behave this way if they know that they have the longitude and the latitude of their parents, and their parents are giving them the freedom to run this way. I mean, in my time and your time, Jeffrey, we would have never think for just take on a teacher,
Take on
even if
one. Yeah.
because I mean, we can't talk about the good old days because life is about change, and we have to accept the changes that comes with life. But look, for instance, the Half a Tree Transport Center is not a new phenomenon to the Jamaican Authority that children go to them have sex. It's a meeting point. It's also the meeting point where you have rival school go and them have fights. There was a fight the other day between Mona, Calabar, and some of the other school, and the school had to suspend activity. Now, now when you have children going to those school and them come and them tell us that they don't want to go to school, it was clear for me why children are now very scared, because school has become a war zone. And I think that you should have had a special branch of the police force that is called the Children Patrol Officer, who are trained to deal with children. And secondly, the country, not just the government, the country, the Parent Teachers Association, the civil society group, the church should have called for a discussion where the military people must now form themselves into a special needs school to treat with children that are demonstrating this kind of behavior. Because and it must also be studied, Jeffrey, because if at this stage they are this defiant, you don't want to see them as adults. They are going to become leaders of the Clansman and any group that they can find. Because people in Jamaica who practice this behavior believe that violence is the best method of getting their influence across. And it just sad that since this has started to trend last week, one student was stabbed and killed at the Irwin Allen High School, and the country is going to go back to, oh, it's just business as usual. It's just another picnic dead. What you expect? There are always going to be casualty of war, but it can be stopped. It can be stopped. But the country has to become a village again. We have to become a village. We have to have incident reports at school where the parents are called in, and the child guidance clinic is called in, and the psychologist is calling, because these children are acting out sometimes some of the very evil that they are fighting inside of their home. You know, in COVID-19, I said to a young lady, I was walking with a young lady, and I said to her, why these people don't stay in them yard? And she said, Mr. Cooke, a lot of them can't stay in them yard because in them yard, their innocence are being taken away and they are being abused. And for a moment, Jeffrey Tavares, me think about it, it wasn't even something that I could even say. It was a laughable thing, because the statement might have been funny, but the truth of the matter, Jeffrey, the things that are happening to children behind the walls and the gates and the door are horrible. And it only goes to show, while we would have put money to fight for a parlor Llewellyn, we now put children, the Jamaican children. Today, the Prime Minister should call for the parent teacher.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
The Prime Minister should call for an immediate meeting. An immediate meeting of the minds. We should have all been called as civil society to talk about children. Upper Camp can basically be converted into not a holding area. We don't want to criminalize our children, but it must be turned into we're spending a whole heap of money at Upper Camp. Remember, Jamaica don't have war with international countries, so we have a military that they can serve us better. Why we can't have kids that are showing serious behavioral issue at Upper Camp? 4 hours out of the day they are doing the academics, and the other 4 they are doing life skill and development training and understanding the values. And they're doing it in an environment that you might even have to take them away from their community. Because, you know, one of the things, Jeffrey, that is horribly wrong about this country, some time ago, Ronnie Tweet had done a studies to show the schools that produce the highest level of gang. And at the time, JC was known to be the one that has produced the most notorious gang in the country. And people lick out on it, why run it, do it. But you see, people don't understand the power of research and how research can help to shape how you find the resources and probably to curtail some things. But it's not to highlight that, yeah, JC, the turnout are only for done because they are the dons that we know about, that we hear say them whole of community like Termite and them man them. But they are the dons that we turn out at these high school that went to university in white collar crime. So the truth of the matter, every high school in Jamaica has turned out a fair share of dons. But here's what is true. We need to pass that now. We need to have the incident reports that are going in there because you know what I fear? We're going to lose a lot of our children in our schools. You literally have to send your people to school now with weapon because you can't just trust that they're going to go into a holistic environment. And don't make them principal and teacher tell you anything. Because you say if them hate your pitney, you need to have somebody in there as a truancy officer or a what you call a violence
Hold
disruptor.
on for me, Luke. Hold on for me, Luke. I want to say thanks to Roots 96.1 FM. Thanks to Roots 96.1 FM for bringing us live this morning. It is now 12 o'clock in Jamaica. It's 1 o'clock here in the United States. We're listening and watching from around the world in the Eastern Caribbean. It's the Mek Wi Talk program. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. For all our listeners on Roots 96.1 FM, thank you all for joining us. Join me next week, Tuesday, same time, same place. So, Dwight Irving, over to you. Have a great day, everyone. Yes, Luke.
Yeah. So what may I say, Jeffrey? You have to have a plan for young people. You have to have a plan because if you depend on them parents, right? If you depend on them parents, that not gonna work. And that is what is wrong with this country that we don't understand.
Luke. See that we're losing Luke. Maybe he has some internet issues because they're saying from in Jamaica, they're saying from ever since they have the eclipse, they've been having internet issues over there. We're speaking to Luke George Cooke about the violence in our schools and what is going on around our country. We're going to speak about that. We already speak about most of the things that we need to speak about on the program here. But this morning, we're speaking about violence in our schools. I came here this morning to speak about the police in Hanover on Sunday seized 100 rounds of ammunition. But we're going to speak about that too. But we're speaking about what is going on in our schools. And we have with us human rights activist Mr. Luke George. Luke, you still there with us? Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Hold on for me. Luke?
Yeah, Jeffrey.
Wow. Oh, you get kicked off for one. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's always a problem, man. The internet since the solar panel, the solar thing is a problem. So what may I tell you, Jeffrey, it's always the mother. And Jamaica needs to pass a policy now that all the fathers must play a part. It must be both of them.
Yes.
Now, if you set up the registry and you're sure and you have what is called violent interrupters in school, this is something that the government has to invest in. But it's not something that they have not tried and tested through the peace management initiative. And the violence interrupter is taking a report. And you see again, why it's going to be important, Jeffrey Tavares, for the government of Jamaica to put cameras in public spaces. You can't always depend on the fact that the fight in a half-a-tree bus park and somebody is always going to be there to call the authorities. Because if it wasn't for the invention of telephone with cameras, we would not even have some of this information. And this is going on for a long time. you have you have some major universities inside Kingston and St. Andrew that are grossly underused because you have UWI, UTech, you have the two teacher college them, and you have UCC and some minor one. You can deploy the social workers from these schools to basically go and help you to do
Luke?
some case study at the homes of these
Right.
children and to look at the community, right? But it shouldn't be business as usual, Jeffrey. We are not we are not to accept that we should accept say this is going on and it has been going on. How many more children will have to die before as a country we determine that we need to have affirmative actions that are
But,
going
but,
to
but
put, and then these children that are
go ahead.
these children that are involved. And it's amazing, Jeffrey, when you watch the fight, how it's reflective, it reflects the country. It starts with a quarrel. You see that in the House of Parliament. We're so against each other. The level of aggression that we display. It starts with you being at home and say your father no work and your mother go work and she have to come home, come cook, and if she not cook, the man go kick her down. Or the fact that we don't have any respect for women anymore. So when we see them and the first thing we are going to say, you hear the youth them. Nowadays, everything in this country, you can't speak English anymore. It's almost like you hear a guy call a girl, brother, I not like what you're doing, you wonder who is he talking to, and the girl is responding. And the minute she respond and say to that person, you can't speak to me like that, she might end up getting 2 boxes and 2 kicks because you feel that is what a man is supposed to be. So there is an identity crisis.
Yes.
And the residue of slavery is still plaguing us, that we see women as just things to be used and not to be valued. And so you have too much single household. But when Father's Day come, you hear man pan corner. If a man don't have a child, you're a gelding. No, we needed more gelding in Jamaica because children need both parents to
But
balance
look,
the act.
when you look into what is going on in the country right now, where students are getting so violent about what is, maybe in their personal life or whatever, and you remember a situation wherein a well-known child predator was allowed to adopt a home I think it's in Montego Bay, where he sexually assaults some female of the ward, of the country.
Jeffrey,
Under
me
this,
tell you,
hold on for me, look. Under this Minister of Education watch. And you don't hear a thing more about it, Luke.
then I'm gonna tell you, say, appear hush up. Hey, Jamaicans have become cowards, This is not the country of Marcus or Sam Shark or Paul Bogle, Everybody just keep hush because we use strong people. A man can just target me tomorrow and decide that them are gonna take me out because me not talk where them want to hear, or I'm talking again. What I'm basically saying, that is why I'm saying it is a meeting of the mind. The Parent Teachers Association, civil society, the university, the government, everybody have to get involved because I cannot send my children. A mother was just talking to me before I came on, and she was telling me that almost every day our child go to school, she come back with a cut or a pencil jam, and she said when she went to complain to the teacher, be it as it may, this mother can be what we call a little bit aggressive in her approach. The teacher now tell the entire class not to play with the student because she don't want her mother to come there, come beat her. No, boy, I mean, no. That could be out of the teacher's own fear. Me can't go right off the teacher and condemn them. Me no condemnation, but that's not the approach. Me, and I'm saying to the teacher, if it was your child who come to school every day and this child is targeted and come home with scars and bruise, then you need to note it. You, the teacher, need to have a note of it because it means that any day now that child can come and lose a limb. And then that is when we are going to react. We react. We're not proactive. So you not do anything in there for say um hitting, beating, stabbing, joking other people, taking them lunch money, taking them bag, taking them. I mean, it is out of place. You got a sports there for a basic school, and if you ever hear when the people them pit down win a race or them BM, it's not an event that people go and have a sense of unity, and that the village growing the child, we are all there to support the child. So Jeffrey Tavares, the country is at war. And somebody needs to know, admit it, Jamaica is at war. And if we don't try to diffuse the tension like a volcano, it's going to run over. And when it run over, the lava going to make the whole away. It's going to bring the whole away to we knees. So we have to come up with an approach now. We have to find an approach to how we deal with our children. And let me tell you the sad part, the truth about it. This approach is not new because in other spaces, other people have tried it, but we just need to extend our ability to collaborate and look at what works in other spaces, and then look how we can tailor it to our culture of coming out of slavery. Slavery has left an indelible mark on all our way, and it still happened today. And we need to fight for the kids, because as a parent, I would hate to have to bury my child as a result of another child taking that child's life. My heart goes out to the mother at Edwin Allen. My heart goes out to the parents who have had to take their children to the doctors and are now very fearful. When you look at the Denham, the student at Denham Town being beaten by 3 boys and fracturing the child. This can't be the way. This can't be the way. When we send our children to school, they spend literally 8 hours in that school. Them spend more time at school than them spending at them home. But we need to diffuse the culture, and this is where our artists,
But
the popcorn and the whole of them need to find that they need to lead a national call for zero tolerance against violence, because a
look,
lot of
when you look into what is going on, Luke, you ask yourself the question, because as one of my good person here is what, Acelia, something like that, yes, who said that, you know, when you look on their phones, the amount of blue movies that they see on some of the female phones, you ask the question, is it that their parents don't go through their phones?
Well, first and foremost, the parents them can navigate the phones. The students are usually more adept at hiding and concealing things. You have a vault where them password, them put a password on it, because all of us, them pitney, them get so smart, but them not use them smartness in the right way. So that is going to be a challenge, and this is why again you're going to need to find out what is happening, and this is where you have to build out the case study, that you can basically look at what is more than like, because with a case study you can say what is likely to happen based on the research that have been provided. And this is why I'm saying it is a teachable moment, but it's a moment for the country to reflect on how we respond in the affirmative, that will wait for things to happen. Remember, I know the other day them look on a school and say 75% of the students attending that particular high school are reading below a grade 2 level. So the frustration is already there, that says, me know me not gonna really come out to anything, because the children have that negative conversation. They live in homes and community where people affirm these things on them every day. You're not gonna come out to nothing, you know, you're so and so and so and so, and the people them have to wear the sin of the parents. But the society itself is so highly sexualized, because if you looked at the university carnival and you look at Wet and Wild And you look
Oh
on
Lord.
and you look at these people are supposed to be getting the highest education in the land. And you look at the gyration and the whole ramming and stabbing and jamming. You can't blame the people them. Children live what them learn. This is what they feel that they need to do to express themselves. And especially and especially when the whole society now will come out for carnival and all the women them from one day if the woman them from upper the Vumvavi, the top girl them come out. And God bless where them have and them a show everything, them bear as you dare. It's also a mindset that we have to look at the value of a country and how people
Yes.
value themselves. So them want one day where them can just be and do whatever them want. But you have to look at it, Everything we do have consequences. There are consequences for our actions. And we need to have a conversation to at least try and save. Because we have lost what now? About 3 generations of young people in Jamaica. So we need to try to save them, yeah, them little one here where
You know
we are come
something,
up.
to Luke. Sorry, hold on for me there. Alicia, sorry about her name, Alicia. Thank you very much for what you said about some of them have some things in their phone. It's unbelievable, and you're also saying that the parents could put trackers on their phone. Well, maybe they can, maybe they can't. But look at it this way, Luke. If you have a home, I remember growing up. I couldn't at that time we didn't have cellular phone as how we have it now. But I remember there are certain things you could not say in your home, you could not do in your home, even on the road. You couldn't do it. You believe I could be on the road either in Savlum or in Hanover or in Negril or even Kingston, and some pinks and Pablos come out of my mouth?
Well,
That could never happen.
the truth of the matter is that that may I tell you, the child bearer has a child, but don't give any amount of attention. There is no planning. When two people lie down now, there is no planning how that pitney they are gonna go. I go grow up and then them come say them mother disrespect them father disrespect them mother, and the two are in a disagreement. So them use that as an advantage to say that, well, I don't even have a stable home. And this is why the Big Brother program, the National Mentorship Program, should also play a part in how we provide one adult who can provide guidance for our kids, because sometimes we can't do it by ourselves. Everybody,
Yes,
there's no manual to being a good parent. When you have pitney,
yes,
nobody not tell you say these are the steps that you have to take, and this is why it's important that people plan for children. But again, the society has to have a conversation in light of all the recent outbreaks of violence right across the corporate and rural area. School, I
yes.
mean, I mean,
Luke, I want you to give me your comment on what the Jamaicans, educators, and community leaders in the diaspora have condemned the recent outbreak of violence among students in at least four corporate area rather high schools, and are calling on principal to implement stifle whatever they may be. In other words, what they're saying that they must implement more harder punishment. What can this principal do?
um,
And for the Jamaican dance, we were talking about this. Come on, look, I need your comment on this. Go ahead.
look, as adults, we usually run to um, judging a situation because we realize that we have played a very big role in the decay that we have seen in the society. And instead of admitting that I might not have played my part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race, when we don't know the solution, but that is when me look for here all the while and said, me not understand educated people, because sociology tells you that them study the behavior and them study the behavior and the culture of people. Jeffrey, it is not beyond us to solve the issue of our nation children. No child should go to school without getting a psychometric testing to see what are some of the behavior, and maybe the intake for these school needs to come um with with an assessment that is done about the condition in which these children live. So here it is that we have an opportunity now to put more of these final year social work and these psychology students in our schools so that them get good information, and we can look at that information, and you can do it through what is called the children intervention program, where you have a church leader, you have civil society, you have the parent teachers association, and we look at what is happening to this child and we determine whether or not. I have oftentimes said that our children in the corporate area need to be put into boarding schools, where they have structure. You have to give children structure if you want them to get a better understanding of their potential. Because if you recognize that the home is failing, then we need to also be able to monitor these structures, so you don't have predators who are going to capitalize on the disadvantaged children. But you must show through this intervention that things can work and people can be safe if they are put in the right environment. So instead of we wait for another
Mhm.
student to die, we are actively engaging in discussion. And so here is an opportunity for us, both the community at home and the community abroad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
To come up, because you have a whole heap of people where live outside of the beltway of Jamaica, where they have worked in some schools or they have worked on some programs abroad, and them have ideas.
Yes.
um and so we must let all ideas contend until we come up with something that is
Mhm.
working, or
L-
else
l- Let me ask you this, though, Luke. Let me ask you this question. Then we're going to switch the conversation because there's three topics we're supposed to talk about today: the school violence in school, the recent upsurge of violence in Spanish Town. So we're going to segue to that now. But I'm going to ask you this question before I go. If you see what is going on in the schools now, and you have teachers who are sexually assaulting the next teacher, and the ministry don't do a thing about it, yet that same teacher who sexually assaulted a female teacher is still teaching at the school. Don't you see that there's something wrong with our system in this country?
well, we have an incredible way of turning a blind eye when it's somebody that we like, whether it's a politician, whether it's a parent, whether it's a policeman, when that person is doing something wrong and we make the wrong right. Too much wrong in Jamaica is getting too much right. And we need to break that down, Jeffrey. People must be held accountable. And when you hold people accountable,
Mm-hmm.
um, when you hold people accountable, then you're sure that the society has laws or that it has rules and that people have to adhere to it. But if you make the rule and it only go for one, but it don't go for the other, then people are going to frown at your rule. What you need to do is hold people accountable. So if you look back for Annandale, where children were burned to death
Yeah.
in a house, in a place of safety, then you have to ask yourself, are we doing the best that we can do for the nation children? So it has to go back to the checks and balance and the monitor and the evaluation. And therefore, this is why you have to make sure that you have people who will put the country above their own
Mhm.
personal development, and ensure that we are all doing an effective job in ensuring that we
Yes.
are holding people accountable. And if you do that and you're sure that, then people are a little bit more likely. For instance, if you were to say, just for argument's sake, I don't necessarily want, but parents will serve jail time for students who behave bad outside. Maybe you'll have
Mhm.
more parents who are likely to go to school and monitor their behavior, them children, because them fear that they might have to end up paying $1 million if them
Right.
child gets in on it. So you have to put in the deterrent methods so that you can deter people from participating. One of the people in the chat room say I want to pay for boarding school. Well, you know what? Part of what makes education so nice is that if you're going to give free education, you must also look at who you're taking into the school. And that we may have to build in there that churches have whole heap of land and it's a private government partnership where the boarding schools are built in such a way.
Not only churches, look. King's House sits on a vast amount of land, just like Jamaica House being wasted and taxpayers being paid to clean it up for them.
Well, you can look at the lands that are lands of the crown that are not being used. For instance,
like the grounds of King's House.
Yeah, if you are pay for the tax department to be located in a building and the building has not been used for several years, then you need to ask the government to pay back the taxpayer because you pay for a building where you're not used. That don't make no sense, Jeffrey. And when you put that into the narrative, you will understand why people feel that they need to cheat and get away because it's basically the principles that we are setting. But as I said, yes, I am optimistic. Everything we want, we can do it. Do we want to do it? Do we want to do it? That's the question. No, the unrest in Spanish Town.
Hold on there for me, look. Let us go to this. We're going to go to unrest in Spanish Town. But we have to play a video here first. And also, we want to read something here out of the Jamaica Gleaner. The Hanover police on Sunday seized over 100 rounds of ammunition and a legal firearm on an operation in Cave Valley in Hopewell, Hanover. A man was taken into custody. The police reported that at about 8:45 a.m., lawmen carried out a raid in a section of Cave Valley in Hanover where 100 rounds were found. Now tell me something, Lou. Is Jamaica planning a civil war?
Jeffrey, Jamaica is in a civil war, but the bigger problem is that we are signees to the United Nations. We don't make guns in here and we don't make ammunition in Jamaica. We looked at Haiti as the port of bringing in some of these guns. And we go to the United Nations small arm. The bigger state of help us in Jamaica because one of the things, every gun that is made, the manufacturer and so forth. And the manufacturer should have some records of where these guns and who have them and how them get into the country. Now, again, as I'm saying, you have to have an impartial set of people in the anti-task crime force that are going to make sure that they carry out their job in an effective and efficient manner. And so we must hold these people and find out where the supplies are coming from, or follow the paper trail till we can get to the perpetrator of that. Or else we are going to come back and talk about this. It's not unusual that a policeman was shot in training and he was shot out of the supply of what we call stunt bullets. And him get shot and killed because a live round. Who you buy it from? And how is it that live rounds come in there? And who checks to see that the rounds that we are getting are just there as stunt bullets and not going to cause harm? So where crime pay, crime stay. And one of the biggest industry in Jamaica now for people make money out of crime. And that is why it has become lucrative, and that is why we have given people almost like a free passage to get involved in it because people benefit from other people who get in a life of crime. But at this point in the nation development, we need to determine whether or not we are going to allow 300 people who are said to be the people who are holding Jamaica back from growth and development to be the people who continue to hold us back we have to tackle this thing, but we have to get serious as a country. We have to
Right.
get serious as a country and determine if we really want the country to be run or we want it to be managed effectively. And
Yes.
therefore give the assurance to Jamaicans living outside that Jamaica is a
Right.
serious place.
We're
Singapore,
we're
Singapore for the
gonna
better.
we're
Why is
gonna
that?
play we're gonna play a video clip in here by SSP Nesbeth. Is it Nesbeth or Nelson rather Nicholson, something like that? Where they said that normality will be restored in Spanish Town. I want you all to listen to what he said. He and communication director Lindsay. Listen to this.
Morning, everyone. Well, over the past few days, there have been some events in the St. Catherine North Division stemming from criminal police confrontation, and this led to a few roads being blocked over Friday night into Saturday morning. The police and the military, along with other agencies, managed to clear it from as early as 11 o'clock on Saturday morning, and all roads have been cleared since. The entire Spanish Town area is slightly tense, but back to normal. Businesses are open and commuters are going to and from unimpeded. So we just want to implore to persons to listen to verified sources such as the Corporate Communication Unit, CCU, and some of the mainstream media for valid information. We hope that full normalcy will return soon. But in the meantime, the police and the military will be having high visibility patrols and maintaining a presence in the area to ensure that law and order is preserved.
Morning, everyone. I just want to say that as the area commander, I had the opportunity to visit the town to see firsthand what was taking place, and I'm quite pleased with the deployment out here.
That both
Morning,
is
everyone.
the gentleman name is H. Nicholson and C. Phillips. They were speaking at a press conference a couple of days ago about the killing of some Clansman member. Luke, is this gonna continue in this country where violence continue and they keep on putting a band-aid on these things?
One of the things that I'd like to say to the police is that if them really want to give confidence to the Jamaican people about fighting crime, them have to get rid of the bad players in them own organization, because part of the biggest deterrent of why we're not getting the information on time is that people don't trust the Jamaica police force. So you can't say you have you basically have restored normality, but for how long? Because we always are restored the normality, and then we see something else go and it trigger it. And by restoring normality, are you in full control of all of the people? Now, I heard something earlier on where somebody was saying the two major crime producers in Spanish Town, only one set are being targeted.
Continue talking, Luke. Continue talking. Continue talking.
Yeah, only one set, but that's not the thing. The thing is that Jamaica needs to start fighting crime in the police force and the government, and show that we are serious about fighting crime and ensuring that people who are breaking the law will have to be punished by the very same law. And that is one of the reasons why I'm delighted about the Constitution Court stepping up to the plate and helping us to understand that the law must be respected and nobody is above the law in the ruling against the DPP. Now, I would have liked to encourage my brothers and sisters in the police force to take a page out of the Constitution Court ruling. If you want people to become respectful of the law, people have to say the law work and it works for everybody. There's nobody that is above the law, and therefore, if you are caught breaking the law, you will have to face stiffer penalties for your action. And this is why there must be a national call for the police, the good policemen and women, to ensure that the bad players within the police force are brought before the courts and prosecuted and are put outside of the JCF, because you're not going to restore confidence in people if in your own organization people don't have confidence. Once upon a time, a teacher, a policeman, and a pastor probably were the most respected people in the country. Now that has gone to the dog. So you have to go you have to go reaffirming a people that these institutions that were formed to ensure that there is law and order, because we can't take no more of the anarchy. The anarchy, I sure we say, it has destabilize anything that we're trying to achieve. It has destabilize that, and that is why the whole discussion of constitution reform must be done with all of the Jamaican people's participation. Nobody should be marginalized, because we must determine how we want our country to work and how it must be run, so that we can get the best maximum potential of Jamaica land we love, being the country where we can raise our family, do business, and feel safe.
Yes, thank you, Luke. We're going to turn to our telephones for a couple more minutes. We're still with Roots FM. That's very good. Thank you very much, Roots FM, for still having us live on air same way. So we're very listening and watching from around the world in the Eastern Caribbean. It's the Mek Wi Talk program. Our number is a WhatsApp number. You can call 954-529-8030. 954-529-8030. It's a WhatsApp number. We're live on Roots FM. We're also live on the Mek Wi Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Our topic for today is school violence, 100 rounds of ammunition found in Hanover, and the recent violence that's going on in Spanish Town. You can call in and talk to us about anything. But these are our topics for today. So the numbers are 954-529-8030. Call us and talk to us about anything you want to talk to us about. Luke, when you look at the whole scenario of a Minister of National Security who hasn't served this country well when it comes down to stopping the crime and violence in this country, do you think that it's time for Dr. Harris Chang to just take a flight and go?
Look, Jeffrey, we don't get rid of bad players in the team anymore. I don't know Dr. Horace Chang, and to his credit, I really don't know what Dr. Chang's skeletons are. Dr. Chang know, and some people know. But under normal circumstances, if this was a checklist to say whether or not Dr. Chang has acted credibly, since Dr. Chang refused the help of his diaspora counterpart by telling them, diaspora, just send your money come, because the man them in the brown suit have 2 and 3 degree. Degree
Yes.
don't win crime.
And that note, hold on for me, look, and we're going to take a call. Hello, caller. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Mek Wi Talk program.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jeff. How are you, sir?
Hold on for me. Hold on. Oh, Lord. Okay, go ahead, caller. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Now, talking about children violence, I am 76, and I can remember going to school, and if you misbehave, you get what you get, you go home, and your parents will deal with you. Today, you cannot tell the children what to do, because we do not, we listen to what the outside world tell our children. They have right. And the children now today, you can't listen. I am a grandmother, but my grandchildren tell me, Grandma, do not look for no grandchildren. I said, why? You can't talk to the children today. I could talk to my grandkids.
Yes.
My youngest is 26.
Yes.
And he pick up my phone where I'm living and tell him to go and do something, he do it. The children today, you can't talk to them. I went 2 years ago, and the children come out the bus and try to go on the bus. We our children follow the Western. The teachers today, I give a teacher 10,000% mark because my niece, two niece, was a teacher in the UK, and they give up teaching.
Yeah.
The children are control. We must bring back discipline in the home, first of all, in the home and the school.
Yes, ma'am.
Respect school and respect your parents. I'm not talking about the churches today.
Yes.
The church is not church today anymore.
Okay.
There is no proper Sunday school.
Mhm.
Parents are not sending their children to Sunday school anymore.
All right.
You know, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you very much for calling in. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Mek Wi Talk program. Where are you calling from?
Hi, Jeffrey. I'm calling from Canada. Oh yes. Okay. Now, Jeffrey, I attended late to class. Now let's talk about. I want to talk about the children them, the kids them today.
Mhm.
Jeffrey, I believe what we're lacking of is back in the days. I'm talking from personal experience because as I said, children having children, and I'm in one of those categories. I was young having kids,
Mhm.
but I remember send my kids to school after work. They had programs for us, single parents. Maybe they want help and how to raise your children, and that did me very good. The community, it was a government thing that after work, they had classes and they advise you and they teach you, and it's just programs. I believe that's what the government is lacking. I think that's what Jamaican is lacking. You know, communities in school with parents, young people having kids.
Yes.
Teach them. Does it make sense? Does that make sense what I'm saying?
It makes
What do you
sense,
think?
but the fact of the matter is, it starts from home to. Government can do so much and no more. They start
Yeah,
from
it starts.
home is
It
the
starts.
problem wherein the family values are down. There is no family values in our homes anymore. There's no family attitude or values or whatever you want to call it in our homes anymore. And that is why some of these young ladies will go out there because they see their mother going to party and their mother going to party just upon some battery ride and some skimpy things. Going to party too.
Yeah, true.
So
Yeah, but you
they
see
don't
back
live alone.
back in my days, that I thought that what, because I'm 58, Jeffrey. So that was way back.
Mhm.
In my days, it wasn't like that with today generation. Today generation, them just different. When them have the youth, them young, them all leave the youth, them at home by themselves and them gonna party and so forth. So you're right, it start at home. But back in my days, at home, I was young, a single mom, I didn't know much. My parents them was upset because I got pregnant and I left the home and stuff like that. So I really never had their help. So you have to go out there and find it. And the school was what was doing it. The government what was doing it. You know what I mean? Now, enough about that now. Let's talk about with what the police them found and things like that. Right?
You mean the 100 rounds of ammunition they found in Hanover? Before you go any
Yes.
further,
No,
hold on before you go any further. Somebody in the chat room said Jeffrey Batty Rider stop where?
I lie. Batty rider still aware. Anyways, Jeffrey. Yeah, so with that, you know what? Maybe it's just me thinking out loud. But Jeffrey, I believe, don't you think, says enough of them things that where them are fine, them it have it already and maybe just I put it out there and I try to make strategy. What do you think about that?
To be honest, I don't think so. Because there is so many things going on in Jamaica now, wherein I am not going to take up for the police because some of them, to be honest, you know, but I don't think so. I think there is something, they're finding things, and I think things are
So
coming
how
to the
come them never,
no, things are
so
coming
how
to the,
come they weren't finding it before, Jeffrey? What happened? Them never had find it before.
yeah, but nowadays, you know, there are so many things happening nowadays. Look what is going on in Haiti. Haiti is not even an hour away from Jamaica.
Yeah, that is true.
I know a lot of people may say all gun them are fine and all kind of something, but it can be yes, and it cannot. I really don't think so. 100,
So you think so?
100%.
So you think this new police chief and so forth, the new system thing what them have going on, you think it's working? You think this guy is
I tell
doing
you
good?
something, you know. Let me say something to you. I am one of those person who I grew up and I grew up around some people who are military personnel, and since traveling and so forth, I've met a lot of military people. And I believe that if the commissioner of police is retiring, I believe everybody around it should retire. Every deputy around it should retire. Because
I believe that too.
they know some of the hanky panky was going on. And the first thing this commissioner of police should have done is come out and tell the Jamaican people the true figure of how many Jamaicans have been murdered in this country.
Exactly.
They don't come and tell us the true figure. You know?
They're not telling us anything, Jeffrey.
True.
They're not telling us anything. The people, the people in Jamaica, the government don't tell the people nothing. Nothing. That is the problem. But anyways, Jeffrey, I'm gonna get back to the show and make somebody else calling. Thank you so much for listening. Okay.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Mek Wi Talk program.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to give my bit on, children and misbehavior in schools. As a past teacher myself, this was back in the days, as you would say. But what I think is, because I've spoken to teachers here in the US and in Jamaica, what is happening in Jamaica basically is that you have kids who are not under much guidance at home. And it's basically what they see family members doing. You will have a kid in the class, one kid outburst was, oh, film uncle a scammer, and he have a lot of money. So they really don't have to learn to do, they have no interest in school. And so because he sees this person with a lot of money because they're a scammer, then they have, why would they go to school? And then, it's hard for a teacher to get that student to even have any interest in school. Another thing is this, that without parental guidance at home, in some of the cases, an aunt, a mom went to the US to work, leaving the children with a great aunt who is too old to even take care of the child, or left them with a family member or something. Not much guidance. I have heard of situations where school children are being used to transport illegal substances at night because they don't really search children like that. So the children are given whatever the illegal thing is to transport during the night time. And if children can be getting paid to do stuff like that from now, then the whole morale is gone. The gift that we have to say you have to go to school every day, because you had to learn, and this energy and zeal that we have for learning is no longer there. When you have a man in the community that can offer the student hundreds of dollars, next day they go to school, one child might have $200 for the lunch, them have $1,000. And it carries a disparity in the community because this is what is happening. And nowadays the value is not on education and the educated. The value is on what somebody has: a big house, a car, the name of the car, the brand car. And it doesn't matter how or what you do to get it, but that's the aim. So their aim is not education. Their aim is to get as much as they can get to earn all these material stuff. And then looking at the Western world as well, they have all these things on their phones. I think there should be, the Ministry of Education should be looking into, like a lot of countries are doing now, to block social media for certain age groups of children. You have children going to school with their phones, and because of what the pandemic brought was online schooling, so even poorer children who couldn't even afford now have a phone or a laptop, whatever it is, or iPad, whatever the case is. And so you'll find now that children are watching porn on the phone while they're in school. So there should be some legislation to say that for children who are under a certain age that has a phone or possess a phone, certain information should be blocked on their phones. The focus should be on schooling, on learning, not on material stuff and what's on the internet. And some of this, I think, should be left in the hands of parents as well, to ensure that whatever their children are viewing, it's for the good of their education. You cannot just leave your children up to the society to grow them. And that's my bit.
Thank you, caller, for calling in. You're so correct. Thank you. Wow. This caller said a mouthful indeed. Said a mouthful. Is now 12:15 Jamaica, 1:50. We're really listening from around the world. I'm the Eastern Caribbean, 1:50 here in the United States. Yes. 1:50 here. The numbers are 954-529-8030. I see something coming in on my phone about Luke. Oh, Luke is already gone. Oh my God. I've lost Luke. Something coming on my phone here. Oh, okay. Luke is back. Yes, Luke.
Yes, Jeffrey.
You were listening to that caller a while ago?
This is why I tell you that all voices has to contend. Because from a teacher's perspective, she's saying some of the methods that we also need to implement. For instance, we need to know that every school now has all schools have lockers, and in those lockers you can basically make sure that, because you want to say that you want to know if your child is safe when they leave the home, or you want to be able to make contact with your child once they're at school. And so when they go to school in the morning, there must be specific times that they can touch base with their parents or go to the office to get permission to use the phone in a structured way. You need to have jams so that you can control how certain things, how certain information. And you maybe need to be able to, the parents probably need to clone the phone so that you can see when contents are being downloaded, so that you have,
this is the moment. Sorry.
That you have information that you can see what your child is doing. But all by and all, Jeffrey, this is why it's important for that dialogue to take place and for us to look at what it is that we need to adjust in the law to ensure that we are taking steps to prevent our children. Because she talked about pornography, pornography that they're downloading, but we're not talking about the pornography that we're seeing coming out of the school. Where recently in a video that was going out, one guy, there was a guy at the door and another guy sitting on a chair with a female student having oral sex. And the teacher comes in and said, "Don't tell me that is an oral sex you're having in the class," where it should have probably, maybe just for the shock of it, she was shocked, but it should have been, "Don't tell me that you're actually engaging in this behavior and that you would take it to school." No, I don't know what the outcome of that is, but there is a fear sense of urgency that we need to look at how to make sure that we can prevent our children from harming themselves. Since they don't see it as harm, we have to do it. And this is why the campaign has to take in everybody. Parents, civil society, influencers, DJs that have the platform that can help to reshape some of the idea that we are trying to promote on this program, and to basically launch the values and attitude campaign. I know that some other people had attempted it, but I believe that we can make a good run at it again and try to save as many of our students as best as possible. I'm delighted that she highlighted that because of the availability of information, the schools will have to design unique ways of attracting and keeping the student, because as she rightfully said, a student can be engaged in criminal activity and use going to school as a front, just so that they are not coming under scrutiny. They go there, but their activities that they do make more money than them parents put together. So
Yeah.
why are they going to value school? And we have not done a campaign to show that when you create more criminals in a society and not more productive citizens, what is the likely outcome of that society? We're going to see a higher level of killing. We're going to see a higher level of violence in our community. So it's a moment, Jeffrey, in time that we have this window of opportunity where we can basically and we should be talking to the student themselves to see what are some of their own ideas, because we might as adults think that we can answer them, but some of these very young bright people have thought of ideas, but they are just probably not the most popular and the vocal person to come out and vocalize. We must create a space where our students can help to do a pushback against this emerging culture that is about to overtake us, and God help us. God help us,
Yeah.
because if Jamaica go down, all of us are going to feel it. Both
Look,
both both
b- b- b-
us at home and abroad.
before we go, Luke, I want to get your before we go, my deepest condolence to um uh member of parliament, former minister Natalita Garvey, and the passing of her daughter. Her daughter passed away, I think it was yesterday. My condolence to you, ma'am, on behalf of my family, to your family. But Luke, before you go, I want you to tell us what is your views on the whole idea of the whole DPP thing?
Um, Jeffrey,
Yes.
look,
I
Mm-hmm.
before my God, if Headley Garvey has lost her daughter, as you said,
Yes.
um, she just lost a very close friend of her in the PMP, Taz James, who was a Ricardo James, but everybody knew him as Taz. And I remember she was speaking about his passing in a public space. I saw a video and how she break down. So I'm sure she's not in the right frame of mind right now, and I just like for all of us to surround her with a great amount of love and solidarity, and just pray for her strength. Those who are closest and nearest to her, you don't have to say anything. I hope you don't go and say some foolish things like God knows best. But sometimes just go and sit and hold her hand. It makes a
Yes.
difference when you know that somebody cares. The DP thing, it shows when a country has put corruption above the rule of law.
Hmm.
That if there is nothing that is the takeaway from it, because again I ask, is it that Mrs. Llewellyn is the most learned jurist in Jamaica, and why would she allow herself after after the accomplishment that she made, first female after 7 male to have become the DPP, and undoubtedly she has made some mark holding that position, and she had earned the respect of so many Jamaicans. Why would you work so hard for your career to leave it in such a disgraceful manner? And why is the government of Jamaica hell bent on spending money in the courts of appeal when the nation's children are at war, when there are parishes in the country that don't have water supply, when the hospitals need new equipment to fight to save the job of this one woman? What is it about Paula Llewellyn? And I think that I would love to be a fly on the wall or a mosquito in Miss Llewellyn's surrounding to find out what is it that she has contributed negatively to the corruption image of this country, that it had to take the court, the Constitution Court, and her colleagues, no doubt, to have to make such a stiff ruling. And the call by so many learned counsel who were saying to her, Paula, do not go out this way. You have done an incredible job. It is regrettable that those of us who do wrong will go to any lengths to cover that wrong, and we will use anybody in the game of chess to ensure that we can maintain and continue to do the wrongs that we are doing, and let it be a teachable moment.
Yes.
That Jamaica needs more men and women who have this country at heart and not their individual career and ambition. That the good of all have to suffer for the handful of few who wants to milk this country of all that God has given it instead of sharing it equitably and following the rules of law. A shameful day in the history of Jamaica.
I want you to listen to I don't know if you were on this program, but I had a program. Yes, you were, but you came on a bit late. I was on the program, and the same question you asked: why is it that the Minister of Justice, the Minister of Injustice, I understand not justice, because this is injustice, hell bent in making sure that this woman still remain Jamaica's Director of Public Prosecution? Listen to this video and listen to the response of Wilfred Rattigan to me. That is why we need to ask the question over again. And I think Delroy Chuck needs to answer to the people of Jamaica. Why are you hell bent in making sure that this woman remain as Director of Public Prosecution for Jamaica? Is it that she has some secret hiding for the Anti-Homeless Administration?
Or she's there's secret guard where she can guard against certain things. Like, for example, don't forget now the DPP can dismiss cases before a decision is made, except cases with in the military cases. She can dismiss criminal cases. She can start them, she can end them, and she can take them over. So, for example, if the corruption prosecutor say, "Hey, I recommend that the Prime Minister should be prosecuted," the DPP can step in and say, "No, you're not going to prosecute him," and that's the end of it. So we just keep in mind that that position is a very powerful position in the judiciary, in the scheme of things, because she can, remember this, she can start cases, she can end cases, and she can take over cases.
My.
And we can boot her out of office so that we can stop the corruption. Again, Jeffrey, I tell you, where crime pays, crime stay. Those of us who understand the whole concept of power, Monty Perkins used to say power corrupt and absolute power corrupts. We have inherited a set of Jamaican.
Hold on there for me, Luke. Hold on a minute. Let me. I have to do this. I really have to do this, Luke. And I'm sorry. Hold on a minute. It amazes me the level of education we have in this country. It amazes me. Kirk, You're saying to me that you don't see nothing wrong with the DPP remain as DPP. All you think is that the PNP hate the DPP. So the PNP is getting on the DPP? What level of education you people have? Huh? You don't see the level of corruption going on in this country? Why didn't you ask a question? Why the DPP do not make sure that the six parliamentarians who are on the investigation, then the name come out?
Jeffrey,
Huh?
Jeffrey, that is the double standard in this country that is keeping it going. Kirk come on here as you see him have to play the devil's advocate because him and the devil have. You see, we don't look at things in terms of the how it looks. And we don't, you see, he is ruling out that we have a law that says when you reach a pension, when you reach retirement age, you have to clear out to make room for other people. So look here, at the end of that program, yeah, don't give no power to the devil. Him don't have a problem. He does have a problem with how it looks. He does have a problem with the message that it sends. And it has to go to a personal attack on the PMP. They don't like her. Is it that they don't? And so, if you speak in this country, this is the kind of people you have to put up with. People who do not, them not reason out things and look on it from the other side. But he wants all of us. Well, Kirk, we're not buying that lie. She's gone. So go and help them to fight to bring her back. So the people out the people out of, no, Jeffrey, the people them out of Spanish Town must fight for them bring back Termite, because there's nothing wrong if he gives cares benefits and spoil. The double standard is killing us, and me no need for listen to nobody we talk them way there. The country needs to be run effectively in other jurisdiction and democracy. People know so when them turn and come, it done and them gone at them yard. There's no one person that can do the job. Because if Miss Llewellyn did drop down and dead, the office of the DPP would have to go on. So it now have nothing to do with like and dislike. Me not gonna argue with somebody when I love Jamaica. When you hear people talk them weird, them like what them get, them like the circle that they're in. They like that level of skullduggery that is holding this country back from growing. And that, me not say why we even justify. This is one where we don't need to justify Kirk. Kirk is a disruptor. Is a disruptor of no mean order. All right. What good Jeffrey? Jamaica, we have to fight for the heart and soul fit, and we have to fight for our kids. Have a good day, Mr. Tavares, because I'm running.
Thank you very much, Luke George Cooke, for coming onto the program once more. Thank you so much, my friend. That's
all right.
Luke George Cooke.
Come,
Thank
sir.
you. Luke George Cooke, human rights activist out there in Kingston City, Jamaica. And I say thanks to him for coming onto the program. You know, when you sit and you listen to what is going on in the country, and you see the level of skullduggery, the level of corruption, the Minister of Justice know what he was doing was wrong. The Constitutional Court rules that is unconstitutional. And because the Minister of Justice conned the Jamaican people them head, some of them, they believe everything that Delroy Chuck says. In any other modern democracy, Delroy Chuck and the Attorney General have to resign. In any well-thinking democracy, and I will say this again, in any well-thinking democracy, Delroy Chuck, the Minister of Injustice, and Jamaica's Attorney General would have to tender their resignation. In any other modern democracy, any well-thinking democracy, the Minister of Injustice, Delroy Chuck, and Jamaica's Attorney General would have to resign. In any other modern democracy, when the Constitutional Court rules, they accept the ruling. But we don't see that it has to be something they're trying to hide. Why this Labour Party government is hell-bent and putting in this woman as Director of Public Prosecution same way. Jamaica's chief prosecutor, who admitted on radio that she has dealt with tainted jurors before. Huh? She admitted on radio that she has dealt with tainted jurors before. And this Minister of Injustice, Delroy Chuck, is hell-bent in putting her inside there as Director of Public Prosecution same way. Hello, caller. Good afternoon. Welcome to the program. Hello?
Hi, Jeff. How you doing?
I am good. How are you doing?
Not too bad. I just have just a comment and a question. I was just wondering, when Chuck and the Attorney General go after the Constitution, is that telling us that the Constitution is flawed? That if, for the common folk, that if something is not right, that means that we should bring, suit against the Constitution? And the next question I was wondering, despite the fact that they are done with the DPP, what about the amendment that they made to the Constitution in order to make that happen? Has that been reversed? Did they amend it, or is it still the same? So that's just my.
I don't think they can reverse an amendment. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but I don't think they can. It still remains the same. And what
the new amendment that they made, right?
You mean the amendment to allow her to stay on first until 65?
Yes.
It is still there.
Okay.
I don't think they can really, put it back and say, okay, it's null and void. No. I don't think they can.
Okay. Okay, good. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. The question that Jamaicans, both home and abroad, must ask, as you said a while ago, is it that the rule of law do not apply to the Minister of Justice and Jamaica's Attorney General? Those questions must be asked of the Jamaican people to them.
True. That is true.
And we cannot continue like this, where this administration has no stand regard for the law of this country. That this administration has no respect for the Constitutional Court, has no respect for the Constitution of Jamaica, has no respect for the Jamaican people.
That is true. The thing is, because they have like tunnel vision, just for their agenda, they're not seeing the bigger picture, what the optics is, the message, what their action is actually sending to everybody else, It doesn't look good.
It does not look good. And when you look at it, people from outside looking within Jamaica is saying that no, this government is a dictatorial government. Monday yesterday, is the mercy of God that helped this country from spiraling down a constitutional crisis in this country.
Black hole. Yeah, you're right.
It's the mercy of God.
You're right.
And by the way, listeners, join me this evening. I think it was about 3 o'clock Jamaica time, 3 o'clock our time, 2 o'clock Jamaica time. For the Parliament of Jamaica, our eyes will be on the Speaker of the House of the Parliament of Jamaica today. Will she table the report that was given to her? Listen to me. What we don't understand enough. We are in a serious fundamental crisis in this country when it comes on to governing this country and the constitution of this country.
Yeah. Well, let's see what Juliet does. All the focus is now on her. So let's see. There's no more clerk to throw underneath the bus. She's under the spotlight. So now let's see what she's going to do. If any good thing come out of the incidents with the clerk, Jamaicans are now aware of the processes of how tabling reports. So now there's no more skullduggery and shuffling the reports. So that's one good thing that will come out of it. So let's see what she does now.
Let us see. Thank you for calling in, my
Yeah.
dear.
No problem. Thank you, Jeffrey. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for calling in. Wow, our nation is in crisis. we are still asking the question, and as I said before, in any other well-thinking democracy, I'm going to repeat it. In any other well-thinking democracy, Jamaica's Minister of Justice, and I will change that one to say Minister of Injustice, and Jamaica's Attorney General would have to hand in their resignation. Is it that both Delroy Chuck and Jamaica's Attorney General, Mr. Derek McCoy, is saying to the Jamaican people, don't respect the Constitutional Court? That's what they're saying to us, that we must not respect the Constitutional Court. That Delroy Chuck and the Parliament of Jamaica, or the Jamaica Labour Party, is above the Constitutional Court. And they're going to spend taxpayers' money to take it to the Court of Appeal. Taxpayers' money where some of us don't have any money to go to the hospital. There's no drugs in the hospitals. But yet they're going to spend money to make sure that Paula go back in as Director of Public Prosecution. We don't see what's going on in this country. That these people can amend the Constitution and bend the law for them way to suit themselves. But when a dirty foot chose his boy, or a dirty skirt girl from down a crossroad, or a girl, them want to call them, no disrespect to women, from down a crossroad, breach the law, then the full force of the law is on them. But when Delroy Chuck and others, the Prime Minister of this country, breached the Town and Country Act during his campaign in the last local government election, he was on loudspeakers at 2 o'clock in the morning. And it's against the Town and Country Act of this country. And nobody does nothing about it. Because what? Bro, God is above the law. This is the country we're living in. This is a country that we mustn't fight for. Because it's Labour Party run things, a Labour Party country. Well, the last time I checked, Jamaica was never a PNP or a JLP country. When countries around the world talking about Jamaica, they don't talk about a PNP or a JLP country. They talk about Jamaica. And all of us in this country must stand up for one thing. Stand up for the democracy of this country. Fight for the democracy of this country. Because the soul of Jamaica's democracy is at risk under this police administration. And I keep on saying this. If and when the Prime Minister of Jamaica should call the election, and if the People's National Party should gain state power, let me make it clear that I will not stand up. I will not sit idly by and allow the People's National Party to go on with a shibangarang like the Labour Party and don't say anything about it. So let me give them a warning this afternoon that if you should go up there and gain state power and you are not doing for the people, of the people, and by the people, then we will come out against you too. It's one government at a time. The Jamaican people must ask for the resignation of Delroy Chuck and Jamaica's Attorney General. The Jamaican people must lead a petition to the Governor General office. But they don't know how to do it. Like, no, can ask me, I can tell them how to do it. Get enough signatures and ask for Delroy Chuck and the Attorney General to step aside And I dare go further, get enough signatures to tell the entire administration to step aside. You all have the power in your hands. You, the Jamaican people, the powers lies within your hands. We, the Jamaican people, not we, not you, we the Jamaican people, the power lies within your hands. Good afternoon, welcome to the Mek Wi Talk program.
Hi, Jeffrey. I was listening, but I was unable to call because I was at work.
Okay.
There's just a few little question I wanted to ask. Because somebody raised it with me the other day. They were saying to me, like, the prisoners, do they get the right to vote? Like people in hospitals or in care home, the elderly people, how do they vote?
That's another thing again,
What? Yeah, because that's the fundamental right, isn't it? That's been taken away from them.
It is. If you, before you get, hold on for me, darling, before you get convicted and you have a voter's ID card and you're on the voters list, it is your it is the right. It is your right to go out and vote. And these two political parties has been infringing on the Jamaican people's rights for far too long. You ask a very vital and important question, my dear.
Yeah, and there's other people, like some of the disabled people, they're unable to go out where the polling station is, and there's no special amendment for them to access the polling. Some of them, they can't wait that long in the queue because they're feeble. Some of them got dietary needs. Some of them got bowel issue, incontinent issue. What's the support for them? These people want to vote. They want to do it. But there's nothing in place for them.
My dear, our nation is in a crisis.
Oh dear. I feel for them, especially the people in prison. They should have a right to vote.
They do.
They should have the right. Another thing, Jeffrey, I sent you a video. I was listening to that video. I watch it on a Sunday. It comes out with the children. There's this guy. He goes out and he does like videos with the children. Give them simple little words to spell and stuff like that. And I tell you, Jeffrey, it is embarrassing. It is embarrassing. I watched one on Sunday, and this lady, she was pregnant, poor child in Ocherius, and the gentleman asked her to spell the word browse, and she wasn't able to do it. And just a simple question like, what is 3:15? What does it mean? And they didn't know.
You know something, my dear? That is why this country is where this country is, I have people like Roberts or Howard Roberts who come on the platform and chat pure nonsense. A lot of Jamaicans have never seen a copy of the Constitution, including Robert. Was never seen a copy of the Jamaican Constitution. I've never read the copy of the Jamaican Constitution. And there's a section in the Constitution that speaks about the right to vote.
Everyone should have the right to vote.
Right to vote. And if you were put on the voters list and 3 minutes before you got locked up on election day, you have the fundamental rights to vote. Go and consult your constitution. Don't come over here with your nonsense.
Oh dear. Jeffrey,
I will watch that
thank
video.
you so much.
You're welcome, my dear. And I will
Thank
watch the video, ma'am.
Okay. God bless.
God bless you too.
Bless.
Bye-bye. The problem with us in this country, if you speak out, you're PNP, you're dirty PNP, or you're dirty labor right. We're sick in this country. Consult your constitution, man. Get a copy of the constitution and read it. I don't come over here and talk nonsense, I don't remember exact part in the constitution that speak about it. But there's a part in the constitution that speak about your right to vote. We're not promoting criminality. Where in the Constitution it states that after you get incarcerated, you lost your right to vote. Where the constitution that is? Consulting in the constitution, man. I have nothing more to say. More than we're going to ask the question, if the constitutional court rule on something, why is it that those in the upper lens of society, in the Parliament of Jamaica, is hell-bent and saying that this woman must continue as DPP? I should go back in as DPP. Thank you very much. Isaac Buchanan was on this program. He read it. He read a part of the Constitution about the right to vote. But we are just hell-bent by saying we are banned painting, we are banned JLP. We can't say we are banned Jamaican. You have a smartphone. Go through your smartphone and Google the Jamaican Constitution, and it will tell you everything about your right. Google it. Bunch of nincompoop. Thank you all very much for coming on. Thank you all for coming on. I will not. Sometimes you have to ignore some people, you know. And not entertain them. You must know if I eat pork. I don't eat meat. No farm meat I eat. Join us this afternoon. Pretty much sure we're going to be here to bring you a live coverage of the Parliament. I'm pretty much sure we'll be here to bring you live coverage of the Parliament. So join us to see what's going to happen in the Parliament today. Lord, I stretch my hand to thee. If thou should withdraw thyself from Jamaica, O God, where would this country go, Father God? Lord, I stretch my hand to thee on the behalf of my nation, Jamaica. If you should withdraw thyself from this nation, O God, where would this country be? Without a vision, our people shall perish. Without there is no vision for this nation, our people shall perish. Until you hear my voice again, remember to like, share, and subscribe to this Mek Wi Talk YouTube channel. Remember, it is Mek Wi Talk, Jeffrey Tavares, LLC. Mek Wi Talk, Jeffrey Tavares, LLC. Have a great day, everyone. May God bless you, and may God bless our beloved island, Jamaica, land we love. Not a PNP Jamaica or JLP Jamaica, but Jamaica, land we love. Have a great day, everyone. Ay, Jesus. Mama, mami, mama, mama, mama. Mami, momo, c'était la li lama. Neke de wo setaya.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, Mek Wi Talk, my people, Mek Wi Talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Mek Wi Talk, people, Mek Wi Talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, Mek Wi Talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Mek Wi Talk.